Okay, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm on the trail. I had hoped to get going a good 40 minutes ago. However, the bus was a little bit late and then it was absolutely chucking it down with rain. So we were all sheltering before we set off. Quite a few people are still in the shelter, but I thought this may be as good as it gets. So I've decided to do the miners trail from Penny Pass. It's supposed to be moderately difficult. I think I should be okay. And at the moment, I've got the trail to myself. I think you can see the sun coming up behind the clouds there somewhere. I'm not actually that high yet, and already it feels like I'm on top of the world. Look at this, it's just so atmospheric. Looks like it's just been poured in from above, filling up a cup of froth. It really does. This one is going to be pretty ferocious once you get to the steep bit, I think. It's going to be probably the most challenging one I've done, provided I can actually make it. I'm sure I will. Just have to take it easy. But anyway, I've just come across the first of the lakes. I always love the way they reflect the sky above them. Although it's not exactly smooth, that one today. There's quite a lot of ripples in the surface there, but still pretty. I just noticed that there's a couple catching up on me already. And this is the easy part. I thought I'd be marching all the way to the hard part, and only the fittest of people would catch me up. But then I have to remember that young people are going to be much, much fitter than me. Oh well. I hadn't even noticed when I was looking at the lake that there's some ruins by it as well. Just down there. Looks like a row of small rooms. So maybe miners' quarters, miners' cottages, maybe barracks. Honestly, I've barely made any gain, but I just can't help pulling the camera out every 5 minutes. It's just so beautiful. Look at that. Amazing. Places like this are what it's all about. I do love the bothies, and they probably make better videos, but for a personal experience, coming up somewhere like this is top of the list for me. So the next of our lakes is just coming into view, just beyond this strange hut here. I'm not sure what that is. So anyway, this is the second lake, and I took the right fork in the path there, forgot to mention that, because this is the miners' trail, and looks like some people have been wild camping there. Quite a nice spot for it. And there's actually another section of lake to the right there. The trail cuts the lake in half. It's very, very peaceful. And the water's beautifully clear. Got kind of a waterfall there. Looks like a massive ruin there. Part of the old mine, I guess. Definitely gonna have to check that out. So yeah, we're almost at the ruin. You can see what look like walls here. It's just so pretty. I mean, mines back in the days when they were open were probably horrific places to work. But when you look at them now, they just seem to be surrounded by such idyllic scenery. It's crazy. You can see evidence of bricks and stuff there. I don't know if that's from fallen buildings or whether that once made up the old track. So I'm just about to round the bend to the main part of the structure. It's quite an impressive building, jutting out of the rock face there. No access to it, sadly. Look at that there. So I'm guessing something, maybe a conveyor system or something, came through this hole down to the water, something like that. I don't know. I'm not an expert on mines, but it does look like a continuation there. Something came all the way through. Whatever it was, it's quite an impressive looking structure. Okay. There's definitely moisture in the air again. Things can change so quickly up here. So, okay, it's gone from the nice gravelly path to big bulky stones. Hopefully we're going to get some of the elevation out of the way on this section here before we get to the really steep bit. I just come across a young couple going the other way, and they hadn't made it to the summit, they said. But they came up here at 3 o'clock in the morning, which was like 5 hours before sunup. and they had a torch but didn't really know where they were going, and they basically got lost and found themselves almost up Crib Goch, and the girl almost fell apparently. So they basically just waited it out on a ledge until the sun came up and then started making their way down again. Even coming up here in the daylight hours, it's very dangerous if you don't know where you're going. If you take a wrong turn, you can find yourself somewhere that you really don't want to be. As far as I could tell, they didn't really even have a map or anything, and there's no signal up here. Those youngsters were lucky to get away with that, to be honest. The path has definitely got much rougher the higher I've got. I'm almost at the top lake. There seems to be some more kind of man-made structures here. I don't know whether these were maybe parts of a dam at some point. There's another one there right by the lake. And I still can't believe that I'm all the way up here pretty much on my own. I've only seen about 6 or 7 people, I think. The top lake is about to come into view. Looks like I'm at the top of this part of the path. Look at that. So this top lake is definitely my favourite of the 3. I love the way it's completely hemmed in all the way up here by the mountain tops. You can see that it's fed by that burn off of the mountain there, and then from here it flows down into the second lake. I can only hope that by the time I get up there, that fluffy stuff is going to have shifted and I'll be able to see for miles. Chances are slim, but you can only hope. Fingers crossed. Well, as soon as you get out of earshot of the flowing water, you realise how peaceful this lake is. Very, very quiet. And just about here, the burn on the other side, but absolutely stunning. I'm hoping I'm going to see a fairly obvious trail up around this bend. Could this be it? I can hear voices. Okay, so that isn't the trail. I'm glad I checked, but also a couple of guys came up and said that they knew where they were going, and I can see them on their way out there now. So it's just next to that slag heap, and then it kind of zigzags up. But it does look steep, oh my goodness. I'm not sure I expected it to be quite that bad. Hopefully it's not as technical as it looks from down here, and I'll be up there shortly. Fingers crossed. The random seagull up here. You're a bit lost, mate. The sun's come out now. It is absolutely spectacular. Hopefully that means that cloud up on the top there is going to shift soon. So yeah, if I'd have been looking more closely, I'd have seen this cairn. It does kind of blend in from over there though. So this is the start of the steep stuff. Definitely looks more scary from down below, however it could well get steeper. So I think just got to go across that burn up there, and hopefully I'll catch sight of the other people again. It helps when you can actually see people on the trail, to be honest, especially in more confusing sections. Speaking of confusing sections, I've hit one almost straight away. I lost sight of how the people got up. That looks like a path, but then just ends up hitting another burn and some rocks going up in that little gully there. Then you got these kind of slippery looking rocks. Okay, I found my way back to what looks like a trail. I guess I should have come up there and over this bridge. I actually came across the water there because it's quite shallow and there was plenty of rocks to stand on. The terrain really doesn't look as bad when you're on it as it did down there. I knew that'd probably be the case. The worst part of it is just trying to discern what's trail and what isn't. Right, I've just made it up over these big rocky sections, and I think you just got to go to the left of this kind of man-made wall here and up there. From back down there I couldn't see this path. It's only when I sort of got a little bit higher up there thinking that was a trail that I noticed this path going up here. Definitely pays to keep checking every few minutes that you're going in the right direction, especially when you can't see the trail clearly. Well, again, you know, there's a lot of natural rock here breaking the path up, but then if you look a little bit further ahead you can see what looks like steps and a bit of a bridge there. And I still can't believe that couple came up here at 3 o'clock in the morning without any prior experience. Still, you live and learn, I suppose. I've certainly made my fair share of mistakes. Look at that. So pretty. Can hear a helicopter. I wonder if it's mountain rescue. I don't know if maybe they're searching for someone, but they just did a complete loop of the peaks here, so potentially they're just, I don't know, taking someone for a sightseeing tour. Okay, I'm really high now. Not only can I see all 3 lakes, but there's actually another tiny lake at the top here as well. So that's the top lake, second lake, and just in the distance there, first lake, all the way down. It's been stunning. It's not that hard, but I am getting hot now. I feel like I'm gonna have to take another layer off soon. It's just crazy. You can look at this all day. It's just so beautiful. It's such a nice day. Really rare opportunity to see these views up here. The skies are clearing. For how long, I do not know. But it does feel like there's a window of opportunity there. It's so busy here now on the trail. I just stopped to have a quick break. Saw people coming down that I actually started with. So that's how long I've taken faffing around with the camera and stuff. But apparently it's only about 40 minutes to the summit from here if I just press on. But yeah, I'm right up there now. You can literally see over the other side of that ridge that we've seen all the way up now. Cloud has rolled back in again though, sadly. And apparently once you get up there, it is just as I feared. Like Piccadilly Circus, as one person just said to me. We're going through a section of trail that's more straightforward, quite steep steps in places, but my biggest issue on this trail has been losing where the path is. So hopefully from here on out it will be pretty easy to determine what's path and what isn't. Yeah, so the summit is clearing now. I've just stood here for 5 minutes and watched the cloud disperse. You can see now people all milling around at the top there. So I've just got to go up there, across there, and to the end. Holy moly, this is the most treacherous looking part I've got to so far. Look at that. I've got to get across there and then the path continues on up on the other side. Wow. Right, this must be where the paths converge. It's looking pretty busy. Wow. Oh wow. So I've made it almost to the top, and it does look quite clear up there, but there is a queue. It's going to be crowded, and by the time I get there it might have clouded over again. But this is the view. There's the summit. This is the view from where I am now. Anyway, let's press on for the summit, see if we can get there in the next 10 minutes. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed that next to me. That in fact is the easiest way to get to the summit. There's actually a train that saves you doing any hiking or climbing. Just up the top there, I've just got to go. Nearly made it. There's the train waiting to go. I'm almost there. There it is. Literally within touching distance now. So there is a bit of a queue, but it's not too bad to be fair. So I made it. I just want to get a 360 of me here. Well, kind of. There we go. So it's 12 o'clock, which means it's taken me 4 hours to get up here. It probably would have taken at least an hour less if I'd have just been marching head down and no filming. But I made it and I'm really pleased. Is there a cafe here? Is there?
Well, there is, yes.
Yeah, I thought there was. Yeah, I started the day without a coffee, so I really need one.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's just how commercial this mountain's become over the years. Not only has it got a train that goes all the way to the summit, but it's even got a restaurant and a shop, toilets. I mean, I'm glad of it. I got my coffee. Off into the mist. It's quite a cool little train, to be honest. It doesn't really matter that it clouded over now because I made it to the top and virtually the entire trip was beautiful sunshine. I can't believe that the actual track gets this close to that drop. That's crazy. This is the track right next to the summit and the cafe. So I'm back at the junction now, at the top of the miners trail. This is actually where all of the trails converge, but I'm going to go back the way I came. However, it's looking very different. Totally missed it over compared to the way it was on the way up. Okay, so I've come back down to where the pig trail joins the miners trail. Doesn't look that bad, so I think I'm going to give it a go and go back that way instead. So I've taken the plunge, I'm on the pig trail. It looks fairly simple, to be honest. Doesn't look like it goes up anymore. It actually just keeps on going down by the looks of it. Hopefully there'll be no surprises around the bend, but yeah, it looks like it pretty much mirrors the miners track, but from a higher position. To be honest, this isn't too much different to the miners trail as far as the terrain. Every now and again there's something that looks impassable, but is easy enough to work out where to go. You stand back and look at it. But yeah, I think it's going to be a nice change, and it definitely looks like the top lake there. It's got a nice little beach. It's become a bit of a hot spot for people skipping stones and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so this is definitely the quieter route back by the looks of it. You can't see anybody on the trail now behind me. There's a few people down by the little beach there, as I said, but ahead of me on the pig trail, nobody again. So I really am up here on my own. So I was talking about Crib Goch earlier. I'm fairly certain that that is it. So you've pretty much got to scramble over the top of that. That's crazy. Incidentally though, the trail here on Pig is looking a bit rough too. Look at that. You got to go across that completely wet, slopey part that doesn't seem to have any horizontal path on it at all. To be fair, every time I thought, oh my god, that looks terrible, when you get up close to it, it's not as bad. Hopefully that's the case for this section as well. Okay, so I've made it to that section. This is just wet, slidey looking stuff. What you couldn't see from back there is it is a little bit more even here, so it's not as bad as it looked. At first I thought I was going to have to clamber across that. Had that have been the case, I may have actually considered turning back, but thankfully it doesn't look that bad. This is pretty good. I'm okay with this. A few little pulls here and there, but mostly pretty straightforward. Can't see anyone up on Crib Goch. Just as I was saying I can't see anyone on Crib Goch, there is actually someone on Crib Goch. Just there. I'm pretty sure this camera won't be picking them up, but I'll see if I can zoom in with my phone. Yeah, that's not for me. So we definitely are going up again. There's another little pig there that we're kind of heading towards. Looking on the map, it looks like it's called Craig Fack or something like that. It sounds a bit rude, but that's what it's called. You can just see the kind of bridge I walked across this morning that splits the lake in half, and just there is where the people are wild camping. So yeah, the miners trail continues on around there, but the pig trail carries on up here, and I think we've either got to go over or past that kind of peak there. Look at the horns on this bad boy. Wow, that is some devil horns on that guy. Yeah, you wouldn't want those ramming you up the rear. Hello. Yeah, same to you. There it is, and it looks like our path is going to cut through behind it once we get over this funky looking stile. Oh, there we go. It's quite a steep one, this one. There we go, I made it. Woo. Oh wow. Looks like there's one final steep descent before it starts evening out again. My knees are definitely feeling it now, I have to say. But yeah, I've got to clamber down here and down to where that guy is, and then it looks like once you've dropped down there, it's going to be a nicer trail all the way back to the car park. So I think I'm going to leave it there. It's just going to be pretty much the same as this all the way down now, I think. But I've had a fantastic day, and I hope that you've enjoyed coming along with me. So if you did enjoy it, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to support the channel, You can also become a member now. If you go to my homepage, you'll see a join button next to the subscribe button, and if you tap that, it'll give you all the details. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.